When I joined the Breast Cancer Action Team as interim executive director in June, I knew I was entering into a legacy of powerful activists and radically unique perspectives on how to address and end the breast cancer epidemic. My wife, Tracy Wheats, and I have a long history of involvement with Breast Cancer Action, from the days of Barbara Brenner as donors and Tracy as board chair, to financially supporting the organization under Karuna Jagger, and then my joining the executive director search committee before the pandemic, to now stepping in as interim executive director while we finalize the search. Like most of you, breast cancer is personal. My Aunt Vera died of breast cancer during the time when you whispered cancer and almost never said breast. My cousin, her daughter Nancy, died of metastatic breast cancer just in this last decade. And Tracy's mom, Diane, who thought of herself as a proud survivor of breast cancer, likely died of a side effect from overtreatment of her DCIS. These women deserved so much better. My experience working more closely with BC Action over these last 5 months has been nothing short of astounding. In 5 months, we've gone permanently virtual. We've taken our organizational systems online, let go of our San Francisco office space, and hired staff from across the country. We also released never before done work on how the fossil fuels and plastics industry adds to the breast cancer crisis, and then launched our first ever for-target Think Before You Pink campaign this month. As you've heard, Think Before You Pink started in 2002 in response to pink ribbon marketing schemes and has transformed the way people think and talk about breast cancer. For 18 years, every October, thousands of activists across the globe have joined us in our work to dismantle the mainstream breast cancer industry by calling for more transparency and accountability from corporate giants, mega marketing nonprofits, and decision makers. Together, we've made huge strides to dismantle pink ribbon culture, and we've had huge successes. In response to our 2008 Put a Lid on It campaign, Yoplait and Dannon stopped using RBGH in their yogurt, resulting in removing RBGH in 2/3 of the US market. A synthetic growth hormone, RBGH is associated with a possible increase in breast cancer diagnoses. In response to our 2011 Raise a Stink campaign, Susan G. Komen discontinued their Promise Me perfume, which contained carcinogens and hormone disruptors. And in 2014, Baker Hughes abandoned their pink fracking drill bits following our Stop the Distraction campaign. And these are only a few of our wins, all of which would not have been possible without your support and activism. This year's campaign, We Can't Be Pinked, Say No to Pink Policies, takes on the federal administration and 4 federal agencies for their pink policies, including lack of policies that fail to protect people living with breast cancer and increase breast cancer risk for all people, especially women, people of color, and low-income people. As our team started to get serious about how to take on federal agencies, we had to consider, could a team of 7 staff and 10 board members take on not 1, but 4 federal agencies? Could we take on the Environmental Protection Agency for not protecting our environment and health, the Food and Drug Administration for allowing a rush of drugs and products to market, the National Cancer Institute for ignoring chemical causes of breast cancer, and the Department of Justice, which is working to remove the ACA, including protections for pre-existing conditions? Oh yeah, and could we do all this amid a global public health crisis, the national fight for racial justice, and a very loud election? Well, we decided we can't ignore that the federal government has left us to be poisoned and ripped off by corporate greed, left to fend for ourselves without access to healthcare, and constantly told that if we lost weight, stopped drinking, and got exercise, we would not get breast cancer. Enough. Our current actions against the leadership of the Environmental Protection Agency and the Food and Drug Administration are ongoing through the month of October. Please check out our website to join those actions. This coming Monday, we will go after another federal agency. So let me give you a sneak peek. For years, breast cancer advocates have lamented that big institutions like the National Cancer Institute, or NCI, has been too slow to act on the connection between chemicals and breast cancer. The NCI is the federal government's principal agency for cancer research and training. It oversees the largest cancer research fund in the world and hosts a leading go-to cancer information website for patients, medical care providers, and the general public. While other NCI landing pages list some environmental exposures as risk factors that may cause other cancers, on breast cancer, NCI states, studies have not proven that being exposed to certain substances in the environment, such as chemicals, increases the risk of breast cancer. In actuality, we know more than 200 chemicals have been linked to an increased risk for breast cancer. Many other cancer organizations and agencies take their lead from the NCI, which is part of why it is so important. A change at the NCI could reverberate throughout the field and guide how others talk about and research the breast cancer epidemic. The NCI's information to the general public about breast cancer prevention also suggests that older age, personal history, and inherited risk can be prevented as a way to prevent breast cancer. Does anybody know how to not age? Not me. I wouldn't expect this kind of sloppy work by the largest agency charged with ending the breast cancer epidemic. I fear that it shows a lack of leadership in addressing this disease. On Monday, we'll be sharing our action and this great political cartoon on our email list, website, and social media. Please join us in calling on the NCI to provide full information about breast cancer risks, including environmental exposures, and to fix their sloppy work. You know, the unique power of breast cancer action is our independent watchdog perspective. We do not get funding from any federal agencies or corporations or mega nonprofits that we have called out. We work with other incredible partners who focus on breast cancer research or the environment, and we cannot do this work without them, but our work is fiercely independent and radically unique. We are compassionate in our resistance and radical in our disruption. We are soft on people and hard on systems. We've been doing this indispensable work for 30 years, and since we refuse to take funding from corporations that profit from breast cancer, we were only able to do this work because of your support. And we have more to do. This administration's aggressive deregulation efforts, lack of oversight, dissemination of misinformation, and efforts to dismantle access to quality and affordable healthcare intensify systemic inequities. And no matter how the election goes, our voice will be just as important in holding any of the elected officials and agency leaders accountable. I can assure you, we are in this for the long haul, until lives and communities are not threatened by breast cancer. Every time I think about all that breast cancer action has accomplished, the unlikely wins against great odds, I'm again struck by a simple and undeniable truth. The power of people like you, like us, coming together to demand change is unstoppable. There is a lot of work to be done, work that matters for the millions of people who are diagnosed with breast cancer, work that cannot be separated from the larger push for social justice, because women's bodies and women's health have always been about social justice. So we need your help. We are small, we are independent, we are powerful, we make a difference, and your donation goes a long way with us. Breast cancer action will never be bought. We refuse corporate funding from any company that pollutes women's bodies or profits off of women's health. We will stand up and push back and speak out, and we will make sure that women's health does not get sidelined. We need your support to do this work. And I'm excited to share tonight that 2 anonymous donors have put up a total of $11,000 as a match for this event. Anything we raise tonight will be matched dollar for dollar up to $11,000, which means your gift will be doubled. And there are 2 easy ways to donate. You can donate online at bit.ly/30th event. That's bit.ly/30th event. The donate link is being posted in the chat, so you can also click on the link there or look above my head. Or you can text in your donation. Just text 30 years. That's 30YRS to 855-735-2437, right up there. A donation to Breast Cancer Action is a direct form of activism. It's an investment in social change. We are scrappy, we are resourceful, we are grassroots, and we need money to organize thousands of activists across the country to push for meaningful policy change, to hold the powerful accountable, and to make sure all women have unbiased information about breast cancer. We can only do this because of you.